Hello and welcome to part 3 of the vlogs. It's quite an exciting time at DrWho at the moment. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But I thought I'd continue answering your questions, and we've got something very special coming up today because we're going to be showing you the first teaser trailer for the third series of DrWho. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget that if you want to ask me a question, to log on to the forum. Click the little link down here and log on because it's great fun. So I'm going to start with Anthony, who asks, what is your favourite DrWho action figure? This one. I actually found it the other day. I love it. This one. This one here. The see-through Dalek. Of course, there were two made. And I've got them both, but that, I don't know, just the idea of a see-through Dalek I think is really quite nice. And also, is there any DrWho figures you don't own? I don't think so. I think I've got them all. Got all the sort of old style ones and new style ones still in their packaging and whatnot, so I don't think so. I think I've pretty much collected them all. Although there were obviously versions of William Hartnell and the Yeti and that sort of thing which were never released, so obviously I don't have those ones. Out of all, Oliver Dallas asks, out of all the DrWho episodes you've written, which is your favourite? Well, of the ones that have been shown, my favourite is The Time Assassin. I still think it's a cracking story. There's real sense of peril, danger. It's Ace, it's the Doctor, it's TARDIS being blown up, it's Time Lords, it's Gallifrey. I still think that's my favourite. However, there are two stories in season 3 that I really love, and it's one of those things that when you enjoy writing them, they're really good, and I'm particularly very pleased. Hi, love the series, but what got you started? Daniel, what got me started? Right, well, we've been making DrWho since 1994, believe it or not. And we made it for about 2 years, and then we stopped. And then when I bought brand new camera equipment, I wanted to test out my CGI skills and the camera kit. So I built a new interior TARDIS, and I made the Prisoners of Araton, which went up online, really just for fun. By the way, if you're wondering what's happened to my throat, it's I've got a bit of a cold, hence the scarf keeping me warm. So I think it was probably just playing with action figures when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and loving it and doing it from there, really. Next question is from Oliver again. Also, who is your favourite Doctor, companion, monster, and episode? My favourite Doctor is Peter Davison, followed very closely by David Tennant. Actually, I think when David Tennant decided to leave the series was a great, like Peter Davison, was a great loss to the series. My favourite companion has to be Ace. Don't know why. Can't tell you why. Ace and Tegan, I think, are my two favourite companions. Always have been. Tegan, just fantastic. Monster. I don't really have a favourite monster, if I'm honest. I quite like Davros, but I don't have a favourite monster as such. And the episode, well, the Caves of Androzani, of course. The best Doctor Who story ever made, followed closely by Blink, I think, which I thought was great, and interestingly, both my two favourite Doctors. So those are my sort of favourite episodes. And what advice would you give to someone interested in doing animation like DrWho Adventures? Go for it, do it. Make adventures. You don't have to have special fancy effects. I think as long as you've got a good story, you should do it, and stick it up on YouTube and see what happens. Also, do I like the Big Finish audios? I listened to the first 10 and I thought they were brilliant. And I listened to the first few Paul McGann's, and I thought they were pretty good. But I think all the others have been fairly poor, in the sense that whilst they're interesting stories, they would work much better on television than they do on audio. What was it like when Doctor Who got cancelled in 1989? Is the next question. Well, it was pretty devastating actually. It was really quite sad. I remember it very well. There's some work going on outside, and that's what you can hear, if you can hear that in the background. It was really, really sad because we were all listening for the Doctor Who returns in a new set of adventures next year, and of course it never happened. We sort of did have Star Trek: The Next Generation to compensate at the time, but sadly, it was a very sad time. Apart from Doctor Who, are there any other shows you're into? Yes, I'm into Star Trek. I love Star Trek. In fact, actually, my iPhone, I did this today on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 4, and I downloaded this, and I think it's, did you hear that? And look, I turned my iPhone into that. Look, isn't that brilliant? I think that's fantastic, and you can scroll along, and let's see, scroll along and like get other things. Oh, it's fantastic. So I'm a big Trekkie. I love Star Trek, and another series I highly recommend you watch if you haven't watched it is Quantum Leap. Absolutely fantastic. Quantum Leap, brilliant. Sam Beckett, time traveling adventures, brilliant. And every time he leaps, it always reminds me of the Doctor's regeneration. And now the last question: can you tell us who's writing for Series 3? Yes, I can. We've got Aaron has submitted a great story. Still not quite sure where to put that story in the schedule yet. Obviously, M. Roderick Grant has written a great story, which now has a new title, and I'm happier with it. And Daniel Baker has written one, and M. Justin Parsons has written one. And I'm really pleased with this season. So much so that now we can exclusively reveal our teaser trailer for Series 3. This is a little teaser trailer, which is where I leave you today. Thanks for all your questions. Post them on the forum. And here is the trailer. And what you're seeing is the new look Citadel on Gallifrey. Enjoy.